It is time for me to master myself so that I can go on to master other things. But first I have to master myself. I confess that I actually like rushing to go to places, like rushing to cross the street, hurrying in a grocery store to get in and out as quickly as possible, rushing while I'm driving to catch lights and have a smooth driving with as few red lights as possible. And I know that being hurried betrays having a sense of authority and confidence because, well, you're clearly not in control of yourself and your time if you are rushing places. And a calm and patient person who is not rushing places clearly has more authority and control over him or herself, and exudes that confidence that the rushing person lacks. I know that, but I still like the rush, and I think it's time for me to stop being addicted to the mastery of speed and move towards becoming addicted to the mastery of self. And I came to this conclusion after listening to Chase Hughes, who is a former CIA operative, CIA operative, and he's written books, best-selling books, and about human behavior, and he has a YouTube channel. You can look him up, Chase Hughes. He makes very good videos. He hires fancy editors who do retention editing of high retention, but the information in there is quite valuable. And so I looked into some of what he teaches, what Chase Hughes teaches in terms of human behavior. And he repeats this in multiple videos, that confidence and mastery of your own life, that is something that you cannot just fake it till you make it and act. It is something that you are. It's something you can give someone a script, a sales script, on the perfect sales script that a master salesman used. But if you are not the same person who exudes the same confidence, then the person reading the script will not make the sale. So it's not about the words or the actions themselves, but it is the person that you are that determines your level of mastery over yourself and influence over others. So I looked up what he teaches, Chase Hughes, and he said, if you want to master your life, and first by mastering yourself, then you have to master your environment, clean up the space around you so that everything is neat and tidy, and you know where everything is, and everything is where it needs to be. So clean up your room and place if you have more than just your room. And then mastery of time. You do what you say you're going to do, and you get the most important things done on a daily basis, even if it's just the most important thing. And you have full mastery of how you spend your time, working towards the betterment of your future self over the pleasure of your present self. That's mastery of time. And number 3 is mastery of I forget, but it was something to do with behavior, like general confidence with it was with not rushing and being in control of yourself, your behavior. Oh yeah. And so the third, which is probably the most foundational, which is the only thing that I'm focusing on more than anything else, is mastery of the pause. And you can inject this throughout your day, and it's something that I'm doing deliberately right now. Instead of rushing in my speech and saying a lot of ums and ahs, or likes and maybes, or I thinks, deliberately pausing before you do day-to-day things, before you get up from your desk, before you start doing the dishes, before you get into your car, once you're sitting in your car, once you're doing whatever you're doing, to pause for a second before you do the next thing. By mastering the pause, even pausing before you answer back at someone, or pausing before you ask the question to someone, mastering the pause leads to mastery of self. And it creates space and time for you to be deliberate and intentional and not be wrapped up in the thing that is completely absorbing you fully. You are taking a step back before you get into it and know exactly why you're doing it. And that's why you're gonna thinking about why it is you're gonna do the next thing that you're gonna do. And having that space, that pause, is the foundation before you even clean up your room or become a master of your time and discipline. So master the pause. That is the number one and only thing that I am focusing on starting today. Focusing on taking deliberate pauses throughout the day, multiple times a day, as often as I remember, to slow down, not rush, and remind myself that the mastery of myself is more satisfying in the long run than the mastery of speed and trying to get somewhere quickly. You get a dopamine hit when you rush to somewhere successfully, but the mastery of self, you don't get that same dopamine hit, and the rewards that you get from mastering yourself are much more long-term. So I need constant pauses and reminders that mastering myself is more beneficial in the long run than mastery of speed. So that's what I've been thinking about for the past hour or two, ever since I started diving into Chris Hughes' teachings. So, mastery of the pause. I'm going to do this throughout the day and try to do this every single day. And hopefully it'll cascade into more things like mastering my environment or time, because I will become more intentional and deliberate. Let's do this. 1% better every day, baby.